If you live in a region where the temps drop below 20 degrees without warning, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you the step-by-step process I use to winterize two-stroke jet skis every season. If you follow these steps, you'll have peace of mind knowing that your ski will be ready for the next season. These are the tools and materials for winterizing properly. If there's anything you don't have, you can use the links on the video or in my description to purchase them and support the channel. Now let's get started. First, I like to hook up a battery charger to be sure I don't run the battery down and so the battery stays strong during the winterization process. A 3 to 5 amp charger is sufficient for topping off the battery and maintaining it in the off-season. The die-hard Schumacher chargers I'm showing here are my favorites because they are compact and reliable. The next step I like to do before any disassembly is treat the fuel to full capacity with marine fuel stabilizer so the stabilizer moves through the system during winterization. After treating the fuel, I like to crank up the ski to blow out the excess water in the water box and to be sure it starts and idles well for the next step. To prevent the exhaust getting too hot, you don't want to run the engine more than 18 to 20 seconds for this step. In order to efficiently run antifreeze through the cooling system and prevent most of it dumping on the ride plate, you need to pinch the water inlet hose coming from the jet pump. If you ever have to tow your ski when it dies on the water, this is the same hose you would pinch to prevent filling your cylinders with water while towing. If you store your ski inside, the antifreeze treatment may not be a necessity, but it is good peace of mind. It can also help prevent calcium deposit buildup in your cooling system. This is the setup I use for pushing coolant through the cooling system to prevent freeze. If you would like to use the same setup I have, check the products on the video and in my description for all of the products I use and recommend. Now that everything is hooked up, it's time to run coolant through the cooling system. I like to use garden hose quick disconnects because it makes connections a lot easier. You want to always start your ski up first and verify it's idling well. Once it's running smoothly, you can connect up power for the coolant transfer pump or flip the switch if you order that style pump. Run about a half gallon to a full gallon of RV antifreeze through the system, then power down the pump. Once you have turned off the antifreeze pump, you should rev your engine once or twice to blow out any excess, then immediately shut your engine down. You can now disconnect the antifreeze pump and remove your flush adapter from the flush port. Be sure to reinstall the flush port cap. Don't forget to remove the hose pinchers from the inside of the ski. When you do that, you'll see the remaining coolant in the lines drain off the pump inlet. For this next step, you want to turn off the fuel switch and run the ski on fog and oil so you can empty the fuel feed line and the fuel in the carbs. You can get best access to fog the intake and crankcase by removing the intake cover, but as long as you can get enough fog and oil into the fog port, that is sufficient. If you can manage to disconnect the inlet fuel line on the fuel filter and hold the filter up while fogging, then that will save you a step. If not, after you're done fogging, remove your filter to empty it, open up the fuel cap, turn the fuel switch to on and reserve, and blow the remaining fuel back to the fuel tank. Once you're done, turn the fuel switch back to off and reinstall the fuel cap. For the next step, you need to remove the plug wires, hang them outside the engine bay to prevent a stray spark, then remove the spark plugs and fog the cylinders and intake further. Just 3 to 5 seconds per cylinder and about the same for the intake fog port is sufficient. Reinstall the spark plugs and the fog port cap to contain the fog and oil, but do not reinstall the plug wires at this time. Keep the plug wires on the grounding posts or outside the ski for the next step. Once you have the plugs and fog port cap reinstalled, be sure the fuel switch is off and plug wires are grounded or outside the engine bay, and you are ready for the next step. For this next step, you want to hold the throttle lever wide open and turn the engine over to distribute the fog and oil. When you're done, remove your lanyard so you don't accidentally start the engine after that part is done. You can now reinstall your plug wires, secure them properly, and wipe up any excess fog and oil and water that may be in the hull. It is not recommended to charge your battery in the ski during storage, so you should disconnect your battery and remove it from the ski. If you happen to leave your battery in the ski and you're charging it, be sure to leave your battery compartment cover off so fuel vapors can vent outside the ski freely. After that, you should treat your battery terminals and connections with Vaseline, grease, or treatment spray to prevent corrosion while in storage. If you don't have a battery fuel tank strap tool yet, you should think about getting one. They make installing and removing straps a lot easier. Check out my description and products on the video for all the products I use and recommend. Once you get your battery out of the ski, you should put it on a suitable charger maintainer. A 3 to 5 amp charger is sufficient. This next step may be an optional step, but it is highly recommended for all Yamaha skis to lube the midshaft bearing assembly and starter Bendix lube points. This is a perfect time to do it. Most models have a remote located grease fitting with extension hose. This model has one fitting on either side of the carbs. Since this is only something you would do once a year, 2 to 3 pumps of the grease gun is plenty. Don't forget to reinstall the grease simple cap if it had one on it. This next step may also be optional for winterization, but I highly recommend lubing all of your steering, shift, and trim cables and linkage to prevent corrosion and storage. Move your steering left to right, drop your reverse bucket if you have to get best access, but lube all exposed cable components in the pump area and at the control area. Sometimes the steering and shift cable moving parts at the control area are a little tight to get to, so you may just have to feel for them and lube the parts you feel moving. This next step, I also highly recommend you don't skip, and that is treating your whole engine bay with silicone spray or Yamashield to help prevent corrosion on engine components. Just spray anything that looks dry and chalky and treat rubber and plastic components. If you spray too much in one area, rub the excess in by hand. Since there is naturally water or moisture inside skis, the silicone treatment helps to prevent rust in the engine bay while being stored. I like to be sure to coat hose clamps, engine mounts, and cable housings because those seem to develop corrosion first. Be sure to do a good thorough job covering whatever you see. It helps everything look good all year. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, now's the perfect time to do so. I have a lot more videos to come. In order to prevent damage to your seat seal and seat latches, I recommend that you coat the seal and latches with silicone spray. Doing this helps prevent the seat seal sticking to the hull and tearing up upon removal. Lubing the seat latch helps it operate smoothly every time. When you're done spraying both, you can rub in the excess or just wipe it off. When I'm done with everything inside the ski, I like to clean the seats with vinyl cleaner and treat all of the plastic and rubber components with silicone spray. If you take the time to do this now, it helps prevent UV sun damage degrading your exterior plastic and rubber components. I have found taking this step in the past makes cleanup when you pull the skis out for the next season easier. If you would rather just wash your ski to clean off the excess grime, use a quality jet ski wash, dry it off well, and do the silicone treatment after. You should always store your skis with a quality contour fitted cover. I have found black tip covers are an affordable custom fitted cover if you don't want to drop more than twice as much for an OEM cover. When you're done with wiping everything down, you need to be sure to remove your whole drain plugs, crank your tongue jack up as high as it will go, or just find a way to store your skis nose up so they drain properly. That pretty much wraps it up. Now you can have peace of mind knowing you did everything needed to ensure your ski is ready for the next season. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found the video helpful. And if you need any of the products shown in the video, use the links on the video and in the description. We appreciate your support.